experienced a lot of stress in the previous year had 40-30% increased risk of dying. But that was only true for the people who also believe that stress is harmful for your health. People who experienced a lot of stress but did not view stress as harmful were no more likely to die. In fact, they had the lowest rates of dying of anyone in the study, including people who had relatively little stress. Now, the research estimates that over the 8 years they were tracking deaths, there is over 20,000 deaths a year. Now, if that estimate is correct, that will make believing stress is bad for you in the 15th largest cause of death in the United States last year, killing more people than skin cancer, HIV or AIDS, and homicide. So can changing how you think about stress make you healthier? And here the science say yes. When you change your mind about stress, you can change your body's response to the stress. Now, to explain how this works, it's called social stress test. You come into the laboratory, right? And you're told you have to give a 5-minute impromptu speech on your personal weakness to a panel of expert evaluators sitting right in front of you. Like, and the evaluators have been trained you to give you discouraging non-verbal feedback like this. Okay, so you get the idea? If you were actually in the study, you'd probably be a little stressed. Your heart might be pounding, you might be breathing faster, maybe breaking out into sweat, and normally we interpret this physical change as anxiety or signs that we aren't coping very well with the pressure. But what if you feel them instead as signs that your body was energized, was preparing you to meet this challenge? Now that is exactly what participants were told in a study conducted at Harvard University. Before they went through the social stress, they were taught to rethink their stress response as helpful. That pounding heart is preparing you for your action. If you're breathing faster, it's no problem. It's getting more oxygen to your brain. And participants who learned to view the stress response as helpful for their performance, well, they were less stressed out, less anxious, more confident, but the most fascinating finding to me was how their physical stress response changed. Now, in a typical stress response, your heart rate goes up and your body vessels constrict like this. And this is one of the reasons that chronic stress is sometimes associated with cardiovascular disease. It's not really healthy to be in this state all the time, but in this study, when participants view their stress response as helpful, their body vessels stay relaxed like this, their heart was still pounding, but this is a much healthier cardiovascular profile. It actually looks a lot like what happens in moments of joy and courage. Over a lifetime of stressful experience, this one biological change could be the difference between a stress-induced heart attack at age 50 and living well into your 90s. And this is really what the view science of stress reveals, that how you think about stress matters. So my goal, I no longer want to get rid of your stress. I want to make you better at stress. And we just did a little intervention. If you raise your hand and said you had a lot of stress in the last year, we could have saved your life. Because hopefully the next time your heart is pounding from stress, you're going to remember this and you're going to think it to yourself. This is my body helping me rise to this challenge. And when you feel stress in that way, your body believes you and your stress response becomes healthier. Now I said, I have over a decade of demonizing stress to redeem myself from. So, we are going to do one more intervention. If I want to tell you about one of the most underappreciated aspects of the stress response, and the idea is this: stress makes you social. To understand this side of stress, we need to talk about a hormone, oxytocin. And I know oxytocin has already gotten as much hype as a hormone can get. It even it has its own cute nickname, the cuddle hormone, because it's released when you hug someone. But this is a very small part of what oxytocin is involved in. Oxytocin is a neurohormone. It fine-tunes your brain's social instincts. It primes you to do things that strengthen close relationships. Oxytocin makes you crave physical contact with your friends and family. It ensures your empathy. It even makes you more willing to help and support the people you care about. Some people have even suggested that we should snort oxytocin to become more compassionate and caring. But here's what most people don't understand about oxytocin. It's a stress hormone. Your pituitary gland pumps out this stuff out of as part of the stress response. It's as much as a part of your stress response as the adrenaline that makes your heart pump. And when oxytocin is released in the stress response, it is motivating you to seek support. Your biological stress response is nudging you to tell someone how you feel instead of bottling it up. Your stress response wants to make sure you notice when someone else in your life is struggling so that you can support each other. When life is difficult, your stress response wants you to be surrounded by people who care about you. Okay? So, how is knowing this side of stress going to make you healthier? Well, oxytocin doesn't only act on your brain, it also acts on your body. And one of its main roles is in your body is to protect your cardiovascular system from the effects of stress. It's a natural anti-inflammatory. It also helps your body vessels stay relaxed during stress. But my favorite effects on the body is actually on the heart. Your heart has receptors for this hormone, and oxytocin helps heart cells regenerate and heal from any stress-induced damage. The stress hormone strengthens your heart. Okay, and the cool thing is that all these physical benefits of oxytocin are enhanced by social context and social supports. So when you reach out to others under stress, either to seek support or to help someone else, you release more of this hormone. Your stress response becomes healthier and you actually recover faster from stress. I find this is amazing that your stress response has a built-in mechanism for stress resilience, and that mechanism is human connection. For every major stressful life experience, like financial difficulties or family crisis, they increase the risk of dying by 30%. But that wasn't true for everyone. People who spend time caring for others showed about absolutely no stress-related increase in dying. Zero. Caring created resilience. And so we see once again that the harmful effects of stress on your health are not immediate. How you think you can transform your experience of stress? When you choose to view your stress response as helpful, you create the biology of courage. And when you choose to connect with others under stress, you can create resilience. Now, I wouldn't necessarily ask for more stressful experience in my life, but this science has given me a whole new appreciation for stress. Stress gives us access to our hearts. The compassionate heart that finds joy and meaning is connecting with others. And yes, your pounding physical heart working so hard to give you strength and energy. And when you choose to view stress in this way, you're not just getting better at stress. You're actually making a pretty profound statement. You're saying that you can trust yourself to handle life's challenges. And you are remembering that you don't have to face them alone. So that's it. Thank you.